Welcome, my dear students of class 8A and 8B to my history class. Today, I shall explain the following points from the previous lesson I started teaching. The name of this lesson is Decline of the Mughals and Rise of Independent Kingdoms. Points, as I mentioned, number 1, agrarian and economic crisis, foreign invasions, rise of independent and regional kingdoms, rise of Bengal, role of Murshid Quli Khan. First point, agrarian economic crisis. You know, after the disintegration of the Mughal Empire and their rulers, the former glory and image of the Mughals, which were established by the Mughal rulers once, they left nothing for it. As a result, the image of the Mughals went forgotten. The image of the Mughals gone forever. Nothing was left for them and for their image. Why? Because of the wrong policy of Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb as a ruler, as an administrator, good, but his narrow and petty-mindedness and his wrong religious policy gave him an utter failure. As a result, he could not achieve success. During the first half of his rule, there was no problem because he did not impose jizya tax on the non-Muslims. But suddenly, due to crisis, financial crisis, he decided to impose jizya tax on the non-Muslims. As a result, the entire agrarian system failed. Peasants and farmers who were prosperous, rich, and the Mughals collected revenues as much as possible. The Mughals collected revenues as per the characters of their lands, as per their production, and they would pay it satisfactorily, gladly. But suddenly the Mughals imposed many restrictions on peasants and farmers and increased huge revenues on them. So it had become a burden for them to pay taxes. Under such circumstances, what did they do? Under that circumstances, the thing they could do was protest. That's why they stopped paying taxes and revenues because an amount which was very hurtful to them, the amount which was not under their capability, simply they denied to pay it. As a result, a number of peasants revolts, a number of revolts of the peasants and farmers took place throughout the country during the last half under Aurangzeb's rule. And next point, foreign invasions. You know, two invaders invaded the Mughal dynasty after the death of Aurangzeb. When weak successors were there, two invaders invaded India. Who were they? They were Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah Abdali. First, Nadir Shah came in the year 1739 and invaded India. He looted immense wealth from the country. He looted that invaluable treasure, Kohinoor diamond. He looted that invaluable treasure, the the throne, peacock throne, which was used by Shah Jahan once. That very peacock throne was an invaluable one. Sorry for this interruption, my dear students. Only because that reason, the glory and prestige of the Mughals was totally ruined because of the invasion of Nadir Shah. Another invasion also, invasion also was held by Ahmad Shah Abdali. First one Nadir Shah and second one Ahmad Shah Abdali. Ahmad Shah Abdali invaded Delhi for 5 times. He looted huge wealth, immense wealth, diamonds, ornaments, and so many, gold coins he looted from Delhi. But it resulted in a desert on the land of the Mughals. It was due to that reason, my dear students, India became an easy prey for foreign rulers because of the invasions of Ahmad Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah Abdali. The next one, next point, rise of independent and regional kingdoms. Rise of independent and regional kingdoms. It is also very important because the disintegration of the Mughal Empire resulted in rise of regional kingdoms, independent kingdoms. The regional kingdoms which were not independent paid taxes and revenues in a regular way. Suddenly they stopped paying taxes and revenues. Why? Because of the reason the Mughal Empire was disintegrated and the weak successors were incapable. They remained busy in enjoying entertainment, enjoying dance programs, enjoying different ceremonies. So they had no interest, they had no attention towards the system of collection of taxes and revenues. As a result of it, the regional kingdoms stopped paying taxes and revenues and started collecting taxes and revenues at the interest of themselves and spent the money from collected revenues and taxes for the welfare, for the all-round development of their states. So this is the reason, my dear students, the three largest kingdoms rose to power. These 3 largest kingdoms were our state Bengal, Ayodhya and Hyderabad. These three states became independent, stopped paying taxes and revenues and declared themselves to be independent. And next one, rise of Bengal, rise of our state Bengal. First I am going to discuss. Bengal was a large center for taxes, huge taxes and revenues. It was due to that reason Bengal's Diwan, first Diwan who was appointed by Aurangzeb, Murshid Quli Khan, became very much powerful. As soon as Aurangzeb was no more and his weak successors remained busy for the war of succession and came to power one after one, they had no sympathy, they had no love for the country. That's why Murshid Quli Khan as an intelligent person, that he took that advantages. And what did he do? Murshid Quli Khan, stopped paying taxes and decided to concentrate to the developmental works for our state, Bengal, because Bengal was a province. There was the peasants and farmers were very rich, prosperous, and wealthy. There was no poverty during that time, and that's why after the death of Aurangzeb, some weak successors came to power for few years. But as soon as they were not there, Murshid Quli Khan suddenly declared himself to be independent. He was appointed as Diwan of Bengal, but later on he assumed the title Nawab of Bengal, the first Nawab of Bengal. He was Murshid Quli Khan. Next one, I am going to discuss about the Murshid Quli Khan. Who was Murshid Quli Khan? Murshid Quli Khan actually was a slave under one Muslim during his first life, I am telling you. And according to some historians, he was a boy of a Brahmin family. A Brahmin had many children. The Brahmin sold him in the market, and one Muslim purchased him from the market named Haji Ispahan. And Haji Ispahan used him as slave of his house. But the behavior of Haji Ispahan was very soft. He never humiliated him, but behaved like his father. Although he was a slave under Haji Ispahan, but he never misbehaved with Murshid Quli Khan. That time he was not Murshid Quli Khan, he was Muhammad Hadi. But in course of time, Haji Ispahan felt very much weak. He became very much weak. He realized that his death was inevitable. He called his 4 sons and requested them not to misbehave with Muhammad Hadi. And he also requested them to release him from the life of slaves and allowed him to lead an independent life, because Muhammad Hadi was very intelligent. He was very obedient. Then Haji Ispahan passed away, and his 4 sons recalled the request of their father, called Muhammad Hadi once and told him the wish of his father and allowed him to be an independent man, allowed him to lead a very free life, a very independent life. After that, Muhammad Hadi became independent. Soon after, he went to the court of Delhi, worked under some Nawabs of different parts of India, and at last he came to Delhi, met Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb appointed him, Aurangzeb examined him and realized that that very person was an intelligent one, would be helpful to him in the collection of revenues from Bengal. That's why Aurangzeb appointed him to be the Diwan of Bengal and named him Kartalab Khan. So Muhammad Hadi now became Kartalab Khan. And then he was sent to Dhaka Dhaka during that time was the capital of Bengal. But one, son-in-law was there. That very son-in-law was Aurangzeb's son-in-law. He was Azimus Shah. There was a tussle between Azimus Shah and Muhammad and Kartalab Khan. Kartalab Khan felt insulted when Azimus Shah raised one question that he was a servant under his grandfather. He was a servant of his grandfather, Aurangzeb. So it was very disgusting for Kartalab Khan. He did not want to work with Azimus Shah. He requested Aurangzeb to allow him to work independently, not with his grandson Azimus Shah. Aurangzeb gave him free hand. As a result, Kartalab Khan transferred his capital from Dhaka to Murshidabad. It was Murshidabad. He assumed the new name Murshid Quli Khan after the capital's name Murshidabad. At that time it was Muqsudabad. Muqsudabad. But Kartalab Khan assumed a new name that was Murshidabad and renamed his capital Murshidabad. So Muqsudabad now became Murshidabad. He was Murshid Quli Khan, about whose name will be written in the history of Bengal as a great, collector of taxes and revenues and founder, ruler of Bengal and, architect of Bengal, architect of establishing a strong rule and administration in Bengal. I am going to discuss about this very person. Murshid Quli Khan had freed himself from the control of Mughal Empire. He maintained peaceful relations with the Mughal emperor and succeeded in bringing prosperity to the province of Bengal. After the death of Aurangzeb, Murshid Quli Khan, for few years continued healthy relationship with the weak successors of the Mughals. But although he made himself prosperous, rich, wealthy, and made his state Bengal rich, prosperous, and wealthy, yet he did not stop the relationship. Yet he did not disconnect the relationship between himself and the weak successors of Aurangzeb. And as a result, a good relationship also was there between Murshid Quli Khan and the weak successors of Aurangzeb or later Mughals. Murshid Quli Khan, made Bengal as one of the most important states of India because of collection of revenues and taxes. Peasants and farmers, zamindars, they all had to pay taxes and revenues within the same time mentioned by Murshid Quli Khan. Murshid Quli Khan was a strict disciplinarian, a good administrator. He was very much punctual. The dates which are mentioned by him for the zamindars of Bengal, peasants and farmers of Bengal, they would have to maintain it, they would have to notice it, and peasants and farmers, zamindars who failed to pay taxes and who failed to deposit taxes and revenues to the royal treasury of Murshid Quli Khan, there was a system of hard rule. There was a system of giving punishment. They were severely punished, and in order to avoid this type of punishments, rigorous punishment and imprisonment, Murshid Quli Khan's rule had become a great rule in the history of Bengal. That's why, my dear students, this lesson is very important. Next day, I shall discuss from Sujauddin. Who was Sujauddin? Sujauddin was the, son-in-law of Murshid Quli Khan. Next day, I shall discuss from Sujauddin up to this. Thank you.